मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम् Hare Krishna. I was so excited, so happy to begin chapter 1 of the Gita. If we actually understand the situation of how and where this all started, it gives us further clarity of why this is being taken, why there is a battle, why Pandavas came, why Kauravas came. Why is Lord on the side of Pandavas? We need to understand those things before we actually go enter into chapter 1 of the system. It's a dialogue conversation between Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. And today is the first day we are discussing chapter 1. It is, even though it is very interesting that since almost almost more than almost like 14 months we are discussing daily. But we today is the day we are actually going into the flow where we are actually beginning of what this Gita is. How is it connected to us? This Gita was, a lot of people do ask this question. Gita was being spoken 5,000 years ago. How is it connected to us today? And if at all it is connected to us today, who will tell us? How do we really perceive the truth? What can we understand through these things? It is important to understand this because until we come to this plane of knowing how important the science of Krishna consciousness is. If I, for example, if I don't know, if for example, you've been given something and it's like a child. Child doesn't know what a diamond is. You give a diamond to the child, he'll play. He'll play with the diamond. He'll bounce on the floor. Or he'll do something, He'll throw that side, this side. He doesn't know, he doesn't understand. But when the same child was being told, oh no, this is very important. You should really, and this is very precious. You cannot throw like that. What's happening? The person has been given some kind of understanding that no, this diamond is very important. Then will he throw that? He will not throw that. Because lot of people they have their own understanding on Gita. Mahatma Gandhi he said, oh this war shouldn't have been happened. 64 crore people died. That's his understanding. He doesn't know the details of it because he never heard this truth through the disciplic succession. That's what Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing in the first sentence itself. The person is very fortunate who is actually hearing this truth through bona fide disciplic succession. That means if you are seeing through the lens of the acharyas, then that is a perfect vision. For example, if a person has cataract, the person and then he puts on glasses because through that is infecting the other person. It's a disease condition. Now, how is he seeing? He's seeing through the glasses only. But if that cataract is removed, what happens? He will see through his natural vision. The vision of cataract is the material disease. That material disease has to be removed. When material disease is removed, what happens? We see naturally because our eyes are given by the Lord. It's a natural thing. For example, children, when they are like 1 year old, you try to put them like shoes, sandals, chappal, so that they walk. But when you put it for the first time, they don't accept it. They kind of feel like discomfortable. They feel discomfort because they feel that their legs are kind of kept in something, so they don't feel comfortable. Then what the parents will then they will train them. Oh, you need to walk like this. This is helpful because it is protecting your feet. So what is logically happening behind? What is the natural state to walk barefoot? So, but an unnatural state. What is this unnatural state? We are putting some sandals. But what is that? We are actually protecting our feet. The children doesn't know that they have to be trained. You see, David, what is it? Every moment you see concepts of training in one's life. We don't realize that we are training, but we've been trained. We've been trained by our parents, by our elders, by our grandfathers, grandmothers, by our uncles, aunts, at different phases in our life, actually. Likewise, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning whoever is understanding Gita through that disciplic succession, he is the most fortunate person because he is the only one he will understand who that Krishna is. If you go and ask who Krishna is in this world, everyone tells their own opinion. Oh, Krishna is a good boy, or Krishna did some pastimes in Vrindavan, or he's a naughty boy, or he's some kind of person. He's a king who ruled and then he left, he went off. So they give their own thing, but nobody tells that he's the supreme personality of God because they have no clue. Arey, forget about people now. The personalities who are there in front of the Lord, when they are seeing the Lord, they don't understand that Krishna is supreme personality of God. When we think about this, dear devotee, it is very interesting how. Let me tell something. Let me tell you something. That means you are actually seeing the Lord face to face, but only certain people they understand who that supreme personality of Godhead is. Just like Pandavas, because they are part of the disciplic succession now, because they are connected to Narada Muni. It's interesting. If you see any person who is a devotee, you'll see a person behind that person who is actually convincing that person that what you need to see, how you need to see. Yudhishthir Maharaj or Pandavas or Kunti Maharani, they've all been trained up by Narada Muni or grandfather Bhishmadev, right? That means there is a person behind that person who is actually telling them, no, no, this is right. Because they have that attitude to understand. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. At the beginning of the Gita, if we have it, at the beginning means our introduction, we discussed, right? In the introduction, Srila Prabhupada, and actually not even in the introduction, it says in the preface itself. If one cultivates the consciousness of what Arjuna is, through this consciousness only you will understand what Gita is. That means a sadhaka should come to that state. That means what is that? That is a plane. Their devotees are at different stages in the sadhaka's life. But eventually, when he meets a Vaishnava and then tries to begin from them, tries to begin hearing from them, then what happens is the perception is totally changed. The perception is completely different. Because if our perception becomes dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya mahajanayana gatasapanta. Why did they told this? Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya. Because that dharma, that the essence of Krishna consciousness is actually hidden. Nihitam guhayam. It is hidden. Hidden where? Mahajanayana gatasapanta. That means in the heart of those Vaishnavas, in the heart of those exalted Vaishnava acharyas, we discussed about Guru Parampara, right? Please understand, since eternally this thing is coming. That means only under this realm only they will understand. Nobody else will understand this truth. That means if we have this clarity, dear devotees, we will never find faults in the other personalities. Please understand. If there are so many materialistic persons, they will simply understand. I remember my spiritual, I was asking this question to my spiritual master in the early days. How do we actually see that there are so many people in this world, but their awareness is not the right awareness which our acharyas are giving? How do we see them? Then he immediately said, you should see them through the vision of the acharyas. Now, how do I see that through the vision of the acharyas? Because if I don't know who that acharya is, if I don't know who those spiritual personalities are, then how do I see through their vision? That means, in order to see the vision of the acharya, I mean, we cannot just say that everything has to be seen through the mercy of Guru and Krishna, but we need to know what that Guru Tattva is. When we understand that the gravity of the Guru Tattva means, the Guru Tattva means what? It's the internal energy. That means it's the heart of Srimati. That means it is Srimati Radharani only. What is that Guru Tattva representing? It is internal energy. Srimati Radharani, it's Balramji. It's their representation only. It's the Ladini Shakti. That means the power potency. This is where the Lord is always residing because he always likes to stay there. That means why Lord likes to stay there? That's another aspect we need to think. Why the Lord wants to stay? In that internal, why they are telling dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya? Why they are telling it is a hidden knowledge? Why it is most confidential knowledge? It is most confidential knowledge because, dear devotees, please understand this, because here who is telling here? Sanjaya Maharaj is telling. To whom he is telling? To Dhritarashtra Maharaj is telling. Sanjaya is an important personality. Now, who is Sanjaya Maharaj? Sanjaya Maharaj is a disciple of Vyasadeva. Now, who is this Vyasadeva? Vyasadeva is direct incarnation of the Lord, the power potency of the Lord. That means Lord came as Vyasadeva only. That means he is actually we don't call directly as avatar, but is a power potent person. That means it directly came from the Lord. That means that Vyasadeva is technically Lord only. Just like Rishabdev came, Lord Rishabdev. So Vyasadeva is a spiritual master of Sanjaya. That means please understand, Sanjay is speaking these words. Now these words are for them it is just a discussion. Because it is discussion between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Arjuna. What are they doing? Arjuna is asking questions. Krishna is giving answers. There's a Sanskrit dialogue conversation exchanges. That means all of this conversation took within 30 or 40 minutes. But dear devotees, devotees discuss this for 10 years. I remember my spiritual master started this Bhagavad Gita, I think 5 years back. We are still in 13th chapter. That means that 30 minutes, what is happening? That 30 minutes is been transformed into humongous. Now I'll tell another example. Krishna told, what did Krishna told to Brahmaji? Because he's a representation, right? We are coming from his sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya. Because we are followers of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, right? This Gaudiya Vaishnava is actually connected to Brahma sampradaya. Just imagine Lord actually taking shelter of this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came in Brahma sampradaya. Please understand. Now, here that Brahmaji heard from Krishna how many shlokas? Chatur Shlokya Bhagavatam. There are 4 shlokas. Right? Told 4 shlokas. Now he heard that through that hearing, smarana, his realizations, his understanding. What did he told? He told the same thing to Narada Muni. That means he told only those 4 shlokas. Actually, Bhagavatam, in that Bhagavatam, the conversation of Brahmaji and Narada Muni, through that conversation, Brahmaji is actually speaking those 4 verses. That means what he heard from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he tells, Lord shook his hands to me. Then he told me this truth and wisdom. And then he said that through this wisdom, you will be able to do the creation. Now, how is that through that 4 shlokas is doing all the creation, is getting all the knowledge? Then another question will come. Is Bhagavatam only 18,000 shlokas? That is only one set which is given to us. Bhagavatam is unlimited. You cannot put a limit to the sloka. That means is Bhagavatam only 12 cantos? That is a limited edition for us. There is higher edition also, which we do not have access right now. But if you desire, you'll get that access. That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, if that eagerness, tatru mulyam ekamulyam, if that eagerness is there, dear devotees, Krishna will open so many things. Now, I always think about this. How is my spiritual master is actually discussing this truth since 5, 6 years? This is Bhagavatam, this is Bhagavad Gita. Still at 13th chapter. How is this happening? And not just that, since 20 years is repeating the truth. How is this happening? That means that too with same set of devotees. And then their devotees are very happy hearing that self-realized person. Now, how is that happening? I always think about this. Are Brahmaji was received only 4 slokas, and then he expounded that truth to Narada Muni, and then Narada Muni gave it to Vyasadeva. That to Vyasadeva, through the mercy of Vyasadeva, Sanjay is hearing this truth. Please understand. No, Sanjay is empowered by the mercy of Vyasadeva, and that Sanjaya is actually seeing like a television. Now he is at Kurukshetra. This war is happening at Kurukshetra. These personalities are sitting, Sanjay and Dhritarashtra. These personalities are sitting in Hastinapur. Now, how is that they are seeing? Do they have like antenna, or do they have like WhatsApp or live telecast, or do they have YouTube streaming? No. For us, we are limited, right? So we need these things, technology, this, that, other thing. But for them, they don't need anything. They can see everything. This is mercy, na? This is mercy, kripa, Guru Kripa. There's a mercy from the spiritual master. He can see what's happening there. Now the same thing, you'll get another question. Parikshit Maharaj, when Parikshit Maharaj is about to leave, how is it all these personalities came to know you? So many people came actually. When Sukadeva Goswami was actually speaking. They're all connected. They're all connected at the consciousness level. They're all connected. That means this connection is possible. What Lord is aspiring from us? Become pure. I remember when spiritual master telling, should become more and more pure. Gave that instruction. Should we become more and more pure? Because why? If we become more pure, what is happening? Consciousness is changing. Because there is so much in Krishna consciousness. External things which are there right now, they are actually stopping us. Now, what kind of external things are stopping? We will actually discuss from text 1 only. Text 1, Srila Prabhupada actually reveals Mamaka Pandavasyeva. But now, what are we trying to figure out? The platform, the establishment of the platform. Oh, why this Gita is very important. And proper told another important aspect. Even though if you do not have this conviction or this realization, but at this particular point, at this moment, please accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then through that vision and how Arjuna is seeing, through that vision, if you see, then you'll understand the Gita. Otherwise, you'll not understand the Gita. Because what is the state of Arjuna is completely surrendered. That means after chapter 1, by the conclusion of the chapter 1, we should understand what is the essence of this Gita. Because that essence of the Gita is so important for us to assimilate. Assimilate what? To go more. Now that 4 slokas, when Narada Muni heard from his spiritual master, Brahmaji, his father also, and that four slokas which he heard, he told that again to Vyasadeva. Because Narada Muni's disciple is Vyasadeva. Then when Vyasadeva heard, he actually there's so much in his heart, and then he gave those 12 cantos. And then that is being written in the book. Because up until that point of view, it was not been written in the books. At that point only it is being written. That means up until that point of time, how the Guru Parampara is running in the heart to heart only. Spiritual master will tell, disciple will learn, and then again it will continue. Next, another spiritual master will tell, another disciple will learn, it will continue, the parampara will continue. After Krishna left this planet, that is when Vyasadeva actually started writing the Bhagavatam. Now, this section we are discussing, this is a small portion within Mahabharata, a few chapters. Is a discussion between Arjuna and Krishna. And then similar discussions do happen multifoldedly in Bhagavatam. Just like here we see the discussion between Krishna and Arjuna. In Bhagavatam, there are discussion between devotees, Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj. That is also another Bhagavad Gita, another Bhagavatam. That means what is that? That is even more nectar. What kind of nectar that is more? Because now here Supreme Personality of Godhead is telling. They are a devotee telling to another devotee. That becomes even more joyful. Because who is a devotee? Is a lover of the Lord. He doesn't know anything else other than how to please the Lord, how to please the spiritual master. Doesn't know anything of anything else. That is only his business. When if a person with that caliber, Sukadeva Goswami, what kind of personality is that? Here he doesn't want to come out of his mother's womb. Why? Because he knows everything is Maya outside. Don't want to come. He stayed there for 12 years. Krishna personally came. No, अभी आना है. बहुत हो गया. अभी आ जाओ, बाहर आ जाओ. Please come. Krishna personally requested him to come. And then he told, no, you will not be affected by the material nature. Then only he came. See, dear devotees, this personality said, don't even want to come here. What to speak of Srila Prabhupada? He came to a place which is completely tamoguna, America, completely rajoguna. Everyone is thinking about themselves. Everyone is thinking that this is a way of getting happiness. When the country is fully, completely rajoguna and tamoguna, he came to that place, dear devotees. That too at the age of 70. Personality he is. Yet this personality, they don't even want to come out of this mother's womb because they don't want to take this association, this material world. But see the acharyas, the more. See the acharyas when they come, they're more compassionate. Now, how is that compassion coming? By their mercy only. By the mercy of Sukadeva Goswami, by the mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. No, Srila Prabhupada has been empowered. No, his God was telling, oh, why are you going west? What do you do? People are not good there. You cannot do anything there. Prabhupada said, my spiritual master loves me so much. No matter what happens, I will go. Because that is his order, I have to go. Because this is the best place where Krishna consciousness can be spread in English. And he went. Who will go there? What is it? The fag end of life. That person wrote this. That means we are actually discussing his heart. Who sits in his heart? Krishna. That means when we discuss about Krishna, about his devotee, we are actually discussing about Krishna. Because why? Because Krishna is happy through that discussion. Because that is Krishna's heart now. Krishna's heart is very, when the Lord's heart is very pleased, that means Krishna is happy now. That means when his devotees are glorified in front of him, he is very happy. He's a joyful person. That's why Bhagavatam is even more joyful. Because here Krishna is telling, the Supreme Personality God, he has to tell, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Because he has to explain about himself. But there his devotees will explain about him. What is the nature of a devotee? The devotee will always tell, this is the mode, this is the process. Lord Shiva, exalted personality, Lord Shiva to Prachetas, Maitreya Muni to uh, Dhritarashtra's brother. I'm not getting his name. What's his name, dear devotees? Maitreya Muni to. Okay, so every conversation which is actually happening, it's an interaction. Through that interaction, what are they trying to perceive? This absolute. That means this one set which we are discussing is itself the epitome to go to allow us to go enter into Bhagavatam. And through that, through Bhagavatam, when Bhagavatam condenses further, when we understand Canto 1, Canto 2, after understanding Gita, when we understanding Canto 1, Canto 2, then we enter into Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is even more nectar. Because it is the interaction between the Lord and his devotee, you see, but here Lord is actually transformed himself. He is a devotee now. That means again it's an interaction between devotee and a devotee. So these truths have to be understood in that way. Now that Guru Parampara, which is actually giving us this essence, is an epitome. That means in our consciousness, there should be in the. Now, what is the reason to receive mercy from the spiritual master? I'll tell another example here. Ekalavya, he goes to Dronacharya to learn the art. Yes, it is Maitreya Muni to Vidura. So there are so many conversations in Bhagavatam. So many conversations. Thank you, Sushil. This conversation is actually the subset what we are discussing. Because dear devotees, this is only a half an hour conversation. But this itself gives us so much opportunity to come out of so many unwanted things of this world. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. Raga, attachment. We'll discuss about that attachment. Now, how through Raga, Dvesha comes envy. How through attachment, unwanted material desires come. How through attachment we do offenses. How through attachment we cannot actually perceive the absolute truth. Krishna is actually present there. But through the attachment, they are unable to see him. Likewise, the truth is actually present with us. But through the attachment, what is happening? We are unable to perceive this. No, Vidura had a problem. Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, he chastises Vidura. When Vidura goes where he went to another superior Vaishnava and started hearing from him. Because he felt this is the best thing has to be done at this particular moment. Whereas Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana sent him away from the home. He said, you cannot stay here, you have to leave. Then he said, this is the best opportunity for me to be absorbed more in the science of Krishna consciousness. That means a difficult situation, what are they doing? They're transforming the difficult situation into a joyful process. Now, coming back to this realm of Bhagavad Gita, let me read this line. It says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretation. What does that mean? That means a person should have clean slate when he does Shravanam, especially discussing the topics of Gita, the process of Shravanam, he should have a clean slate, understanding that I do not know anything. Whatever the acharyas are telling, whatever my teacher is telling, let me understand, let me assimilate this, let me digest this truth. Because if I digest this truth, that is when I can apply this truth. That's why Prabhupada is telling you should not have any other personal motivation behind it. That means through this will I get, will I gain some wealth? Through this will I gain some health? Through this will I gain some strength? Through this will I gain some beauty? Through this will I gain something else? Through this will I gain some punya? We should not have anything in these lines. Save pumsa pharo dharma eto bhakti ratna dokshit. Ahi tuki aprahiyata yanatma suprasidati. Ahaituki aprayeta. That means the essence, savai pumsa pharo dharma, essence of all the dharmas. Yatho bhaktir. What is the essence? Yatho bhaktir adokshade. The adoksha, worshipping the adoksha, do worshipping him, worshipping the Supreme Personality of God. That is the essence. With what attitude we should do? Ahetuki apriyata. That is what Srila Prabhupada is telling. What are we doing now here? Shravana, Smarana, Kirtanam of the Lord. What is this Shravana? Through this Shravana, what are we trying to pursue? We're trying to pursue that we shouldn't have any other personal motive behind this. If a sadhaka has that state of consciousness, when he hears through right association, what happens is his consciousness will change. That means he will give this priority. This is the number one priority for us. Nothing else. Even if, I remember my spiritual master telling, it's very wonderful what he told. He said, even if mrityu is coming, even if death is coming, if a person is actually discussing or hearing or understanding or chanting, the Yamadutas have to stay there outside. They cannot catch him at that time. Because he's discussing now. That means the discussion time, the understanding time, the smarana time is actually, these are all extra for us in our life. I know some devotees, they should have left the body by this time, but they're still practicing Krishna consciousness because their health is not good. Even doctors are in a confused state. They don't know how these personalities are living. They are living. How? Ahituki apraheta yanatma suprasidati. Unalloyed pure devotional service they are doing. They get that extra time, more time. Even though their health is bad, still they will continue. Still they will. I will not use the word survive. They be absorbed in that process. We see through the examples, right? Srila Prabhupada, doctors are like in a state of ascharya. They're in completely amused. How is this person? How is this person? He has so many health problems, but still he's okay. How is this happening? They have no clue what's happening in the background. They have no idea that Krishna is actually personally working, personally taking care. They have no idea about that. Externally, they can check the pulses, this, that. But internally, what's happening, they have no idea. You remember that beautiful pastime where Srila Prabhupada, after a couple of years, he goes back to India because he was very sick. Just after establishing the mission, the movement of ISKCON, after 2 years, he goes to India because his health was very deteriorating. But the moment when he came back after recovery, the devotees were very so joyful. And Prabhupada said, by the mercy of my spiritual master and the Lord, he sent me again to give this association to my young boys and girls, young American boys and girls. After that, they so joyfully they accepted the process. They never look back after that because the relationship is deepened. The process works, and through this understanding, dear devotees, the topics discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya, this becomes the basic principle of impounding great philosophy through this. Now, to discuss philosophy, a situation should come. Now, what better situation than Arjuna in that particular state of consciousness? There's no other better situation than that. It's a perfect arrangement to speak those perfect words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord actually orchestrated the situation. Because Lord, see, anything is happening in the life of pure souls. You see, Pandavas, that's actually Lord personally doing those things in their life. Because they're pure. They're completely, fully surrendered to the Lord. They do not have anything else in their life. If materialism is removed slowly from our heart, from our consciousness, that is actually good for us. Because we can take more and more shelter. We can depend more and more. That's what exactly happened in the life of Pandavas. No, Lord Ramachandra personally showed through his life by going to the forest and how to lead a life through those difficulties. That means we experience that joyful process. Pandavas also went to the forest. They were very joyful. It's a difficult period for them, but they were very joyful. How they are joyful? Because they're Krishna conscious. Lord Ramachandra personally showed through his life as an example. Yadya tatradeshe sattattateva tarojanaha. That means through acharana, Krishna personally tells to Arjuna, if I do acharana, then only people will follow. It's like Lord Ramachandra showed through his acharana, his following, his showing, achar prachar. Krishna personally showed. Pandavas, they personally showed. That means through that difficulties, what's happening? Their heart is opening up more and more. Because they're becoming free from everything. That means through it, the Gita begins through this discussion, through this interaction with Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. Dhritarashtra is actually asking this question: what's happening there? He is directly entering into the point. What's happening there? And then he expresses his insecurities. See, the Gita began through insecurities, and the Gita actually ended with the joyful process. Sarvadharman parityajat mamikam saranam vraja. That means if one becomes free from insecurities, then only you will come to that plane of surrender. Now, with what the Gita began? Gita began through insecurity. With what Gita ended? Secured. If one feels secure, then only he'll surrender. If he is insecure, he will not surrender. That security has to be given to us. This security is gifted to us by our acharyas. Please understand. That's why they are. That's why we worship them so much. They are the epitome. They don't. We don't see that thread. You see nice kite in the sky. A person is actually, maneuvering the kite. Sankranti just completed. A lot of people they play the kite. But the thread which cannot be see that thread is the Vaishnava, the Acharyas. Because if that thread is not there, there is no existence to the kite. Because through that thread only, we can really assimilate what's happening. That through that thread only, through that connection. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, right? How important to understand this truth through this Guru Parampara. Because through that Guru Parampara only, we can actually understand exactly what is happening in the heart of Duryodhana, exactly what is happening in the heart of Dhritarashtra, and exactly what we need to correct in our heart so that we come out of those things. And then we attain the state of what Arjuna, what Srila Prabhupada, what his followers are actually experiencing. Who is a Vaishnava? Vaishnava is a person who wanted to give. Give what? Give the gift of Krishna consciousness. That's what Srila Prabhupada used his entire life, spent his entire life for that. Because they have no other thing. Because they know if a person becomes a true Vaishnava, he is very happy. There's no problems. He's not fearful. He's not fear of anything. He's not fear that anything would happen. He knows whatever happens is the will of the Lord. A Brahmana is always have 10 rupees only. That is his quality. If somebody gives 1 crore, still he will have 10 rupees only. What is that? Having still 10 rupees again? Even though he has 1 crore, still he has 10 rupees because he will spend everything in the service of the Lord. That is the nature of a Brahmin. Is free from all of these things. Is free from the dualities of this world. No, those personalities, when they speak the truth, everything is revealed to us. Now, this is the reason we are ever grateful to them. That's what Srila Prabhupada is telling. Because if you see, any person speaking about this Gita who is not in the Guru Parampara, who doesn't understand the truth by the mercy of the spiritual master, he will speak all nonsense, his own words. It's a complete nonsense. You might be a rich person, this, that, so you might know so many, you might be very famous, but it's all nonsense. Because what do? They kill Krishna. Nobody can kill Krishna. But what do? They remove Krishna. This is what Srila Prabhupada said. They kill Krishna. What is impersonal is they kill Krishna. They don't give importance to the person. They say that person not to Krishna, but in the within Krishna. What is that within Krishna? If there is no Krishna, what? There is no within. Through Krishna only there is within. If you remove Krishna, then what is? There is nothing actually. Survival for exist, there is no existence actually. That means they assimilate through this. When Krishna says, I am the energy in the stomach, they say that, oh, that means Krishna, the energy which is there within the Krishna, that is more important. Through that energy only this digestion is happening. Please understand. See this perception. That means the importance is given to the energy, not to the person here. When a person gives importance to the energy, but rather not to the person, that person cannot know what this Gita is. He can never understand what this is. That means he might quote all the 700 shlokas, but he'll never get the essence. One time, Prabhupada, there's some impersonalist who came to meet Srila Prabhupada. And then they were asking, who is Krishna? And Prabhupada says, call Saraswati. She's the daughter of Mother Malti. Call her. And then she comes. Prabhupada asks. Prabhupada has a cookie in his hand. If you tell the answer to this question, I'll give you this cookie. And the Saraswati is actually watching Prabhupada, what he's asking. All those personalities are sitting. Please tell who is Krishna. Then she says, Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. He is the source of everyone. Take the cookie. She left. Prabhupada says, you see, small girl, she understood who Krishna is. You personality, you do this, that, this. From here you learn, from there you learn. You will never understand who Krishna is. You see, small girl, through relationship, she understood everything. Because she has connection with me. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. Connection with him. This means when we have connection with him and his representatives, we will get the essence within few months. Not even few months. One class only will get the essence. But the problem is, we have our own attachments, our own endeavors in this world. Through our own attachment and we can never understand this truth. But when we continue to hear what happens, when these attachments are removed, dissipated from the heart, then the real thing will be connected in the heart. The real thing, Prabhu, dear Prabhuji and Mata, the real thing is already there in your heart. Please understand. Nobody can remove that. It's only covered now. Because Lord has already, we are his part and parcel, na mame amso. When we are his part and parcel, we already know all of those things. But currently through our anarthas, we think that that is not right. That is in an illusory state. That was exactly what is happening to Dhritarashtra right now. That is what he's speaking right now. And what exactly he's speaking, Srila Prabhupada will tell this tomorrow. We'll discuss about this. But please understand, if you understand the shloka one day about this, first shloka only, you will never be fearful in this world. I'll write it down. But you need to understand. If you don't understand, then it's a problem, but we don't understand it's a problem on my side because I'm unable to express. But if we get this sloka 1, we'll never be fearful in the shloka. First shloka itself is giving us so much. What to speak of 619 and other shlokas? That means everything which is going in the heart is actually removing all the unwanted things from our consciousness. When unwanted things from the consciousness are removed, then we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, without any fear. क्या होगा मेरा जॉब क्या होगा वो क्या होगा what will happen here what will happen there will I earn this much will I earn that much can I survive in this world what will happen if my job these insecurities will all be dissipated we need to understand this sloka 1. I remember my spiritual master told sloka 1 4 classes. Very beautiful. Means just a interaction. Bhaksidasa Thakur Bhagavatam first sloka he gave 45 days. What are these personalities? Who are they? Why they have to go? Why they have to give for 45 days? Why they have to share so much from their heart? It's their mercy. Their pure mercy. They have so much love towards their spiritual master and the Lord. Actually, this insecurity itself is the reason for raga having attachment in one life. You know how raga works? For some personalities, you feel connected. Some other personalities, you feel envy. That is an indication of raga. Oh, she's my daughter, that's why I love her. Oh, he's my dad, that's why, he's not good, that's why I hate him. Or they are Muslims or they are Christians. That's why I don't love them. That's why it's not good. Or he's not my caste. That's why I don't like him. Or he's not, I'm Brahmana. He's not Brahmana. He's a Shudra. That's why I don't like him. These are all diseased conditions. That diseased condition is actually addressed in this sloka. These disease conditions has to be removed from our consciousness. I remember spiritual master telling me, Are you've been practicing since 10, 15 years. Again, you say, I want to marry my daughter to my caste. What is this? What did you understood? What's the understanding? Well, you've been in the process. You are understanding. You know that you are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. You are part and parcel of the Lord. You have a connection with Him. That connection is established by the spiritual master. After understanding all of these things, still you say my daughter should be married to so and so person only because he's from our caste. What is his caste business? It's a diseased condition. That means you're still staying in the bodily conception. Do I put here that I belong to so and caste here? It's not there. Then why are you worried? That means this disease is not removed yet. That means if this disease is not removed, that means you never understood what Krishna consciousness is. Just like Duryodhana or Dhritarashtra, after seeing the presence of the Lord, they could never understand who Krishna is. Why? Raga. Now, why this person or personalities do not understand that they have that I should get married to white girl or I should get married to a nice girl who's actually earning. I'll practice chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna consciousness is not we have material desires and then chant Hare Krishna. Having material desires and chanting Hare Krishna will never work. That is actually an offense in chanting of Hare Krishna. That's why people do not get happiness or progress. They do not make progress in Krishna consciousness because they never connected to a Vaishnava. That Vaishnava, he should be very serious and sincere. He should be strict. He should represent that. He should actually be as is. Whatever his spiritual master says, he should do that. He should be that person. He should become the carbon copy of that person. Otherwise, it's truth. cannot be pursued. That means if you are not taking that kind of association, what happens? चलेगा यार, that's okay. थोड़ा एक दो मूवी देखेंगे, क्या होगा बीच में? कुछ नहीं होगा. कौन देख रहा है? Because they don't realize that Krishna is sitting in the heart. Because they never received that kind of association. सप्ताह में एक बार करेंगे. Weekly once we'll discuss. Once in a month we'll discuss. Are there is so much to discuss here. How can we discuss once in a week? How can we discuss once in a month? चलेगा चलेगा. What is this chalega? The life air is being removed from our life, from this body. This body is temporary. This temporary body can become permanent if we take Shravana Kirtana seriously. Papa says, if you do Shravana, chant 16 rounds, follow four regulative principles, I'll take you back to Godhead. What is the problem? That means the fuel should be there. The push should be there. If there is no push within the body, will the ball movement come outside? It will not come. If there is no push within the body, that means we will become diseased. The digestion is not good, the pushing is not good, we become diseased. That means we never feel hungry. We don't want to eat anything. Why? This is a diseased condition. That means when we do not get asakti in Krishna consciousness, this is a diseased condition because there is no push. But you do not have that kind of association. Exactly this is what happened to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. Are Pandavas are exalted Vaishnavas. They should be respected like Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna actually sits in their home. You know how exalted they are? Krishna actually goes sits in their home. Do we ever see Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, sitting in home of a devotee? Vidura, he is eating the peel. He personally came to the home of Vidura. Now Vidura, out of love and devotion, he was thinking that he was giving mango. He was giving banana, but he is giving banana peel. Krishna accepted that banana peel. See how much love and devotion they have. Do we have to? I always think, this human form of life is given. If we do not take this science very nicely, that means we are missing out on all of these beautiful things. Today a devotee was sharing me. I'll share that video in the group. They're doing a marriage between the Lord and Rukmini Devi. It's a very beautiful way. This is another sampradaya. This is the Bhakti sampradaya. This sampradaya is coming from Tukaramji. Tukaramji is from that particular sampradaya. They're doing nice marriage. I was just thinking, Lord, the lordships they're getting married. We are carrying so much in the heart. We are holding ourselves so much. Through this holding only, we cannot see that in our heart. If the holding is not there, we see that in our heart only, na. The holding has to be removed, na. I was just thinking about that. That means these acharyas, they wanted to give us that state of consciousness. They don't want us to stay in this consciousness of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. They aspire us to to get the consciousness of Arjuna. By the end of chapter 1, we'll actually understand what is the consciousness of Duryodhana, what is the consciousness of Arjuna. And how Arjuna, how Krishna is on the side of Arjuna, why is he not on the side of Duryodhana? That means if we develop the consciousness of Arjuna, Krishna will be on our side. Don't we aspire for that consciousness? Krishna is actually there, dear. He is there with all of you. We've forgotten right now. That's the beauty. When we develop those qualities, selflessness, compassion, kind-heartedness, Krishna will come and is ready to sit in our heart. But this is actually gifted to us through the chain of disciplic succession. That means we should be ever grateful to all these personalities. We owe them a lot. But they, out of their mercy, they're gifting us selflessly. This state we need to perceive. This is actually devotion. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Gita, first session. I want to discuss more, but out of time. Should take care of that also. And here devotees. I remember when I got connected to my Shiksha Guru. My realm of Krishna consciousness completely changed. Before that, I was thinking if you give some book distribution, you'll become a devotee. Before that, I was thinking if you chant 24 rounds, you'll become a devotee. Before that, I was thinking, oh, if you do Ekadashi, do Nirjala, you'll become a devotee. Before that, I was thinking, if you do preaching, you'll become a devotee. Before that, I was thinking, oh, if more devotees are coming to the temple, if I accommodate more of them, if I give them an opportunity to chant Hare Krishna more, I'll become a devotee. At every moment, what is happening? I am thinking that I should become a devotee. But in all these years, before that association, I never felt that I should please a person to become a devotee. That is a secret. And nobody will understand that. They will always pursue, I should become a devotee, I should become a devotee, I should become. But they will never, they should never, this consciousness will never come that I should please this person. That means the person has to be completely secured. Then only he will get that consciousness, I should please this person. Otherwise, this consciousness will not come. Very important, we should understand because the anarthas are there in the heart. Anarthas will only go when we begin serving those personalities. Especially Shiva Prabhupada and his pure followers. We should get that chain through his pure followers. Through that chain only we can serve them. We have to get that access. Dear devotees, this disciplic succession will continue for the next 10,000 years. After that, it will stop. Why? Because Kali will expound so much. And even now itself, Kali is expanding. Now, who has desire to hear every day? Very few people. Who has a desire to be motivated or inspired? Who has a desire to follow four regulative principles sincerely? We do not get that desire. Through association only we get that desire. Through association only we want to become sincere. That means through the association, when everything is coming through the association, then naturally a person will be inclined to serve that person. Through that service, what happens is the truth will sit in your heart. All these words, these are not my words. And I am again proclaiming. These are not my words. These are the words of the Acharyas. These are their words. How is that happening? How is that manifesting in our heart? I always feel this is a beauty. This is a joyful process. Arey, without my intention, without my understanding, those things are coming in the heart. Since 14 months we are discussing. I never thought that, oh, we'll discuss this today. Oh, let me think about this. Let me think about that. Let me assimilate this and then let me tell this truth to them. No, let me prepare this PowerPoint. Let me prepare this slide. Let me share this to them. Will be good for them. No, whatever spiritual master inspires, whatever they desire, that will come. This is joyful. That means we have to be dependent. If you are dependent, only we can speak or we can do something. We have to be dependent. They do it. If we are not dependent, we cannot get up in the morning. Please understand. We have to be dependent. We should have that prayerful mood. Oh my dear Lord, please help. Are millions of lifetimes I've been away from you, doing sense gratification. I got this human form of life. Human form of life, you've given me this intelligence. Let me use this intelligence for your happiness. Krishna, I want to get up for you. My dear Lord, you gave me so much. Ek bar, let me do this for you. One time, Hare Krishna, one time, let me chant this for you. One time, let me hear this for you. This is the attitude will give us connection to go internal journey will begin. That means we become honest at that time. He says that these are not mine. We never, you see, Prabhupada ever proclaiming this is my opinion. No, no. But all these so-called big personalities, they said, oh, my opinion, Krishna is speaking like this. Oh, my opinion, Krishna is telling like this. Hello, what is your opinion? You are filled with four anarthas. You have cheating propensity. You make mistakes, imperfect senses. You become illusioned. Imperfect senses means what? Sense gratification, sex life. If a person is engrossed in sex life, he cannot speak the truth. Please understand. Person should be free from that. Then only he can speak. Otherwise, he cannot speak. We can show for 2 days, but it will not happen after that. Because the access nahi hai na. Access is not given to us. Now, how a person will become free from that? Krupa. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bakaje Sadma Bandhamoye Savadana Mates. Do through that Krupa only. Because in there, the lotus feet of the spiritual master is the only shelter where we can attend the pure devotional service. I bowed down onto his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. Through that, ignorance is dissipated. What is this? What are these words? This is the heart of Narottam Das Thakur. This is the heart of Srila Prabhupada. This is the heart of my spiritual master. That's why I bow down to him with great awe and reverence. Because through that bowing, through that awe and reverence, through his mercy, we're discussing here today. Otherwise, you cannot discuss. Otherwise, we look for name, fame, profit, adoration. Because through that name, fame, profit, adoration, we want to be happy. That means through some way, shape, or form, this will come, dear devotees. Please understand, we should be very careful, very cautious. Personalities like Dhritarashtra cannot come out of this. Do you think we can come out of this? We can never come out of this. Please understand. I again tell this is not to gain some knowledge. It only comes through relationship. You can gain some knowledge, but that realization will not come, that conviction will not come, that surrender attitude will not come. These attitudes that are coming is only through relationship. That's why they say Janma Janma Prabhu se. चक्षुदान दीनोजे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित. Through that only दिव्य ज्ञान will manifest. प्रेम भक्ति जहोते अविद्या विनाश जते वेद का जहान आचरित. Through that prema bhakti only avidya will be dissipated. Otherwise we'll be blinded actually. We are blinded in this world. We are illusioned here devotees. At least myself, I'm illusioned. I'm convinced that I'm an illusion. No, being convinced in illusion, that is also great realization. Na? Is that not a good realization? Then if I'm convinced that I'm an illusion, I'll be humble. अभी मैं अब through that humility what happens? Already मैं मर गया. उसके ऊपर क्या होगा? We are already doomed. What will happen on top of that? The consciousness has to be developed. Please think about this. Duryodhana couldn't understand this. Dhritarashtra couldn't understand this. Why? Why ask these questions? Get the answers. That is a secret of devotion. Hare Krishna. Sorry, dear devotees. I spoke a little extra. Please excuse me. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? Very interesting, dear devotees. The moment I begin this chapter, I'm feeling so much joyful, elated, because we get an opportunity to discuss about Srila Prabhupada, to discuss about pure souls. Because that is our life. Because they are our life. We don't know anything else other than that. This is our attitude. Let us all aspire for that attitude. Let us all aspire for that consciousness. Pray for that consciousness. My request, please do Mangalarti in the morning. Glorify special Prabhupada. Please. I request at your lotus feet. Please do that. Samsaradava alanidaloka. Please be very, very helpful. It will take us our day. Courage, Shakti, courage. To continue, we'll see tomorrow how the Drashta, how that attachment is pulling him. That we'll discuss. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please, anyone would like to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All those to the Prabhupada. I just want to add, share two sentences. Thank you so very much for the beautiful class today, Prabhuji. So for some reason, though heard multiple times through you in these classes, today it feels even more fresh and kind of more enlightening. We hear that Guru Parampara, it comes through, the mercy comes through Guru Parampara, knowledge comes through Guru Parampara. But as you said, as you started, it's only 4 shlokas that were given to Brahma. But then how, with the 4 shlokas, how did he manifest everything, the birth and body, jivas, giving body to jivas and so forth, right? It's not just the 4 on the platform of knowledge, but consciousness is what given in those 4 shlokas. Similarly, so beautifully told, Prabhu. When we think about Guru Parampara, it's not just the person that we are seeing in that Guru Parampara, but it's actually the consciousness that each one of them developed or match to Krishna. That's how it is flowing through. And it makes more sense. Our Srila Prabhupada also, we discussed in the past, going to Srila Rupa Goswami's Samadhi, cleaning, to begging for mercy, meaning to get that consciousness so that he can give the same consciousness, the mood, to all the readers who are reading his books. Also, I was remembering the question that you asked to your instructing spiritual master when initially on how to please your Diksha Guru. And Prabhu said, develop these qualities, which is nothing but consciousness again, right, Prabhu? So yeah, just wanted to share that as you concluded, that consciousness, non-envious, and all those qualities, Advishta, Sarvabhuta, once they are removed, then only bhakti enters. Now it's not magical, but we hear the same example, a muddy water. How can it be clean? By pouring good water only. There's no other go. Similarly, hearing makes it clean slowly. Bhakti will. When we say bhakti, it's actually consciousness which is getting inserted. Right, Prabhu? Thank you so very much, Prabhu. I just wanted to share what my heart.
Thank you for sharing. They all have one heart. They all have one consciousness. That's why they do not have. That's why you don't see any quarrel in the spiritual world. Because they don't have same. They all want to please each other. Through that pleasing each other, Krishna is pleased. Mother Yashoda has been pleased by other Vaishnavas, by other elderly Gopas. Gopas are pleased by other Gopas. They are internally pleasing Krishna. They are internally pleasing Srimati Radha. All the Sakis, all the Manjaris, all the Gopis, they are pleasing Srimati Radha. Through that pleasing, they are pleasing the Lord. Connected. That connection we get here. That's why we should have good association. Vaishnava association. We should hear. We should understand. We should assimilate the truth. More and more. We should discuss those qualities. We should discuss how to come out. We should ask this question: how karma will be removed? How one can become free from these material desires? We should ask this kind of question. How one can be free from all these materialistic propensities? how we desire all these materialistic propensities in this world. How do we come out of those things? These questions which we need to ask. We need to discuss this truth. We need to hear the truth very nicely and then repeat the same thing. Conviction will be increased in your heart. Nobody, see, this entire, for example, there will be some recession next year, all the jobs will be gone. You'll be very happy now. This entire world might be unhappy, but you'll be happy. How is connected? Connection. That's why this Gita is the solution for everything. Everything. You name it, everything. Just a half an hour conversation, but it is solution to everything. And this is the foundation for to understand Bhagavata. It is even more nectar. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, even more nectar. Hare Krishna. It's a merciful process. Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to add? Otherwise, we'll stop it here. Thank you all very much. I'm Shira Shubhu. Please take over the call. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, preparing ourselves to learn Bhagavad Gita, telling us how important the first verse is, and preparing